Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review, we are looking at the Guardians of the Galaxy Wave Marvel Legends Angela figure, which I have to say, oh my goodness, they did a good job. This doesn't look like a Marvel Legends figure. I have to be completely honest in that this figure is easily better than any Marvel Legends figure I can think of that's come out in the last 3-4 years maybe. I don't understand it. This figure has more paint, more unique sculpt work, and more accessories than every other figure combined. No, not that much, but like every other figure on their own, and maybe even you take two of any other figure and it still has more. Other than accessories, maybe. So I don't know, guys. This is like, are we in the Twilight Zone? Is that what's happening? This is not a Hasbro product, not for $20. No way. I don't get it. Let's get it off the stand so we can look at it up close. And you do want to look at this figure up close because she's got some very big, very nice. Her weapons are very nice. They're gold and they look like blades of some kind, so it's very cool. No, all joking aside, let's go ahead and get the figure measured. She stands, get out of the way. She stands just about 17.5 centimeters, which makes her just about a little over, oh, wow, she's really close to 7 inches. She's got some size. She's got legs that go all the way up, and that makes her pretty tall. Man, I can't get over how well done this figure is. This is so unusual. All right, before we get into the figure anymore, though, let's talk accessories. So she has the two blades that she can hold in her hands, and her hands hold them nicely, and they're sculpted well. The handles are sculpted, and the blades are okay. Definitely could use a little bit better paint, but they're definitely good enough. She also has her sword, which is like a traditional looking sword, which is painted, again, well enough, sculpted well enough, and it fits in her scabbard or sheath, which is connected to her belt. That's all permanently connected, so unfortunately you can't really move it, but it's pretty cool. And the belt is a floating piece at least, so that's nice. So that's it for accessories. So she does only have the 3, but that's more than most figures get. In fact, we have some that don't get any, so that's pretty nice. And here's the thing that makes it impressive, because yeah, it's only 3 accessories, who cares? Look at the rest of the figure. This is like 99, I think it is 99% newly sculpted, except for maybe the hips. The hips might be old parts. Everything else is brand new, and look at the amount of paint. Actually, I have to be honest about this. They tricked us a little bit, and this is a really good thing. The legs aren't painted, except for the purple straps. These are molded in flesh tone, and then the boots are molded in gold. Those are actually keyed in and glued in as separate pieces, which I am fine with because they fit together well enough. Mine's not perfect, but it's pretty close. So you don't have to worry about paint overspray or anything like that. It's perfectly clean, and it saves them money. Granted, they had to make another mold, but it saves them money, so it works out. The straps are actually sculpted on. That's impressive. Their paint could be a little bit better, but the straps are sculpted. Even her little underwear thing, whatever you want to call this, her bikini bottom, that's all sculpted, so that's pretty cool. So that's painted. The belt buckle is painted. Maybe not the little rivets. That would have been nice, but the belt buckle is painted, so that's cool. You can see, I know we already mentioned it, but the scabbard has some paint on it, on the top and on the bottom, so that's cool. She has this scarf thingy, which is actually molded very well. There's lots of detail in that, even though it's pretty soft detail. It's in there, and is painted. So that looks really nice. So those are just kind of floating around both ends of that. You can see there's tons of paint on her... Get out of the way. There's tons of paint on her arms. Maybe not tons, but there's a fair amount of paint on her arms. So for the gauntlet, we have the molded silver with the painted red. And then for the upper arm, we have more of the silver in a few different places. And the flesh tone, which is... I'm thinking the flesh tone's painted. It looks... I can't tell which part is painted. Let's see. It's molded in flesh tone. The silver's painted, so that looks really nice. So that's a good thing. All of the flesh tone is molded, so that's really nice. It's nice and even, nice and uniform all the way around, so that's good. These floating bits are annoying, though. I'm not sure where they're supposed to go. Like I said, I'm not the most familiar with the character. I'm going to have to look that up. Probably should have done it ahead of time. Looks like it should go up there, but then I saw the Hasbro pictures had them like down on her elbow, so I don't think that's right, but we'll see. Same thing on this side. The arms are not symmetrical, by the way. They have different molds, but same overall detail throughout, so I don't have to go back and forth. But you can see it's just lots of paint, lots of sculpt. The shoulder pads are separate pieces, so you can still raise the arm up. It's going to get in the way some, but it will flex. So you can get the arm out there, all the way out. I'm not going to have to do that again now because I'm skipping around. I'm just so impressed by this figure. I'm not doing my regular format completely. I don't know what to do. I'm losing my mind over here. Nah, seriously though, Hasbro did a good job. Look at the head. Obviously the head looks nice. I mean, the faces, they always sculpt the faces pretty well, but it's painted well too. The lips are mostly where they belong. The eyes and those little other things around her eyes look really good. Her helmet thing is a separate piece, so that's nice. The hair is in a couple of different pieces, so that's nice. The hair could use some shading, but it's got a really nice sculpt, so it's not something you're going to really notice, so it's still pretty good. So it's just like, wow, what the heck? How did this figure come out of the same factory as, like, I don't know, one of the bad ones, because they have a lot of those. It's just, even the anatomy, it looks much better than most figures that they put out. It's so good. Okay, let's do the articulation. That matters, and then we'll wrap it up. The head does sit really high on the neck, but because of everything that's going on in the way, it's not too high, but overall it's not too high, but you can see there's a big gap, hopefully you can see, between the neck and the head. So it's weird the way it's sculpted, but it actually sits properly like that, so don't worry about it. You can move the head around nicely because of it, side to side, rotation. It's on the hinge. Can I see? I don't know if the head pops off on this figure. It doesn't seem like it wants to. Maybe it can. Yeah, it will. No, it won't. I don't know why it won't come off. It's just a ball peg. I can't get it off, though. Anyway, you have the hinge in there, so you have full range. Well, that looks good. Don't do that. That looks bad. That makes the figure look awful. But there you can see. That's a good example of how the neck is not right. Her neck's all the way back here, but her face is all the way up there. There's some kind of weird disconnect between the head and the neck, but it's okay. It looks good in normal pose. So neck's fine. You already saw the shoulders work really well, so up there, no problems at all. No bicep swivel up there. We only get that down here, which is fine. You still get your 90-degree elbow and then your bicep swivel, so that's good. I wish we had double jointed elbow, but I'll take it. And then the wrists do have a swivel, and this hand has the vertical hinge, so if you like that, it's there. And this hand has the horizontal hinge, which it's very hard to actually move around inside her gauntlet. I'm not sure why they keep doing alternating hinges. For weapons like these, you really don't need to move the hand like this. The vertical hinge is much better, so this side is more practical, but that's okay. The diaphragm joint on this figure works really nicely. Look at that range. No problem at all posing this thing. It's so nice. You can bring the leg all the way forward, slightly better than horizontal, so that's good. Bring them out to the side, not as far as you might like, but you're probably a pervert, so this is far enough, so that's good. Can't go back at all. Thigh swivels work just fine. Double jointed knees, of course, they're going to work just fine, no problems there. And then for the ankles, we have pretty good range going forward, better than most. Pretty good range going back, goes all the way. And then we have our ankle rocker, which does come off at a bit of an angle, and there's no swivel to account for it, so that's not ideal, but it'll do. So ultimately, the figure is not perfect, but it's like 99% perfect, especially for a $20 price point from Hasbro. Oh my goodness, you can't beat it. Make this a figure you pick up from the line. If you're collecting these at all, you want this figure. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. Talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you turn on notifications so you can see all that stuff. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.